For Hayley, the diagnosis was actually, someone described it as it was like winning the lottery but losing the ticket. So for her, she'd been ill for 18 months. Her life at university was not like a normal student's life. She didn't go to a single lecture in her final year. She barely left the house. And to finally then have an answer, and you know what's wrong with you, or what the diagnosis is, was a kind of relief. It's like, well, finally, okay, we know what's wrong. We can start treating this. She can get better. You then realise that actually Lyme disease is actually very complicated and it's very difficult to treat, and that you're abandoned by the NHS.
I think it's a struggle for people to get diagnosed with Lyme disease because it's a very, very difficult condition to pick up. We know there's at least 2,000 to 3,000 cases of Lyme disease every year, new cases every year, but the symptoms aren't the same between different patients. So it's being a lack of awareness by patients themselves. People may feel just flu-like or depressed or low, and they may not even associate that with Lyme's. Sometimes the symptoms can come many weeks after they've been exposed to Lyme's, and therefore they're not associating it with the classic tick-borne or the bite. Many people have gone out and been bitten and not even realised, and often just thought, oh, what's that? And not really associated that weeks later that could have caused an infection.
I just can't understand why it's the patient's fault. It's all, we don't get it, we don't understand it, so it doesn't exist. And we're going to put you into 3 categories: chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, or nuts. And that's basically what they do. That's it. We've got negative tests here, so you're either going to fit into one of those 3 categories. I got slotted into the chronic fatigue, the ME category, and that was that.
It's really hard to plan, but I do have hope, and I have hope that one day there'll be standardised, accepted testing across the world, which the whole medical profession can accept, and also more research into transmission to find out the ways that this illness can be passed on, because I think that's crucial, especially for sufferers, to know what their responsibilities are ethically. So I think better testing and more research into transmission are key.